Alright folks, this is the re-recording for Toon Boom 5.2. So this was our combo of, let me pull this up here. This was Toon Boom 5. Love that it knows what I'm going to. So in our last adventure we made mouth shapes for Ash, right? Using this lip sync chart. Today we are talking about scene planning. Now that's just a fancy way of saying, you know, organizing your assets and where they should be in space and at which times. Staging, that timing, that kind of stuff. Well, in regards to what we're doing, we're staging things in 3 dimensions. So we also need to have things spaced out and planned out in the Z space, as well as our X and Y nice 2D drawings. So one thing you might want for that, we used a camera layer in our work on the Ash lip sync assignment. We have our library, which we'll be going into in a second. We used this on our last one when we were changing and fixing any of our errors in our lip sync. And then today we're going to be working with our top view a lot and organizing not necessarily the camera, but where our assets are related to the camera. Alright, so where we last left off, you should have completed your walk cycle. Again, I will point out I only went to the down pose, it looks like, on my second cycle. You would obviously have your full cycle completed. If that is not what you have, stop watching this video and finish your cycle all the way to the complete full contacts. So this would be pass pose, up pose, and this would be my first contact pose again. Okay, so now I'm ready to start moving this in 3D. So what do we need for that? Well, I'm going to start by making a color card. Double click this, and this little box here, if you open it up, is like the color picker. So I'll pick a background color. I'm going to pick something pretty tame. Okay, cool. Next thing I want to do is add a new drawing layer, and this will be background. Alright, so on this layer, what's our background going to look like? Well, I'm going to start with black as my color, rectangle tool. Let me go to my tool properties, increase the size of my pencil. Alright, so I'm going to make a rectangle wall back here, and we're going to do some simple 1-point perspective. So I'm going to draw a line from here through this corner of the camera. I'll do it again from here to here. Great. And then basically, because I want to close this shape, I'm just going to drag, you know, my straight line up to here. I mean, I could do it legitimately, but I'm just going to get this here, connect this to this shape, and then we'll okay, so we'll do that. Cool. So now I should be able to take a color, take white, fill these walls in. Oh no, our guy's covered. We'll handle that in a second. I'm not going to fill this wall in. Give me 1 second. So now let me go back to black. Let me make the doorway here. We got a doorway. Have it go to there. Again, we want to follow our perspective. Whoops. Sure. And then straight down. And now we'll go ahead and throw some white in there. White in there. Okay, great. So, what do we do next? Oh, let me also erase this line for the doorway before I get ahead of myself. Simple doorway, right? Simple doorway. Nothing crazy. You can decorate these walls if you want or not. Okay, so this is my background. This is my set. So let me make sure I expose this for the entire time. Go to frame 80, extend my exposure. This obviously I want to put in the bottom of my layer stack. Okay, great. So we have this set in the background. We have a color card. We have our dude. So now let's get our dude moving in 3 dimensions. So straightforward here. We're going to add a peg that is controlling our dude doing his whole walk cycle. So this is the main peg with all the body stuff. This peg controlling it will be my 3D peg. And it's my 3D peg because I'm going to use it to have this dude move in 3D. So dude will start here. We want him going through this doorway. Now, problem, I need to put this doorway farther back, because if I make my dude walk past here, then you see he cuts through the wall immediately, because this is still coplanar with where this is at, but layer stack wise it's on top of it, so that's why it's being displayed. But this actual 3D space does have supremacy over that, so we need to actually send this thing backwards. So here's what I'm going to do. We're taking a coffee break. We're going to turn off our golden guy and go to coffee break. We're not animating. We just want to take our background here, and I'm going to throw it in a peg, and just take that peg, and we'll push it straight back. Whoops. Okay, sure. And you'll notice your color card is way out here in the background too. I don't think that'll be a problem. So if you need to, you can move it back. So now I'm going to scale it, and I'm basically just going to scale it back up, and it'll line right up with where it was, basically. Perfect. Okay. So about functionally the same in appearance, but now this thing is in the background. Okay, great. Now what? Well, let's go out here to frame 80. Now let's, in our top view, so again, this is where this thing comes in the scene planning. So just switch over from typically your tool properties over to top. And this just shows you how are your different drawings organized in the 3D space. So in this case, starting on frame 1, the dude's in the foreground. We want him not only back behind this wall, but out over here. Oh, you know what's even better than that though? If I undo what I just did and I turn my animate back on, we always want to make sure golden guy is on for animate so that it'll set keyframes. So again, let's go back to this, do what I meant to do, which is we'll push it back, then we'll bring it all the way over here, and you can see now I have a path going from here to there. Dude walks out the door. Hey, why is his leg? Wait a minute. Whoa! So we have a problem. He gets to the doorway much before our homie would be blocked by the wall, because the wall itself is actually 2D. It's just flat here. So what do? We don't want our dude to show past here. Now there's certainly fancy ways that we could mask this, which I will not get into because it's not really the easiest way to do what we're trying to do. Instead, we'll sort of create our own mask. How we'll do that? I'm going to take my background layer here, I'm going to duplicate it. And I'm going to take my duplicate and bring it up here. Okay, great. What's the problem? Well, all this other stuff. So it turns out I don't need anything else other than basically the wall past here, so that there's something that covers my dude when he gets through the doorway, right? So all that's left to do, take our eraser, I'm gonna make it pretty big, and we are going to erase boom. So now, this wall is only this part right here. I think this is solo. Yeah. So you can see it's just that part of the wall there. Well, now, as our fellow goes through this doorway, let's look at our top view up here. So here's our layer where the part of the wall that we just cut off. Here's our dude. Here's our actual background. He's behind the wall. Boom, boom, boom. And now he ends up behind our wall. So if he did show up over here, he'd actually still be behind this original one. And we can just have him, you know, like if he just reappeared out here, it wouldn't be here. We'll just do this. So now he really walks through the door, right? Although, woo! I'm just showing you how it looks. Okay, he just barely clears the doorway. That's my boy right there. He's 7 foot. So there you have it, folks. Simple scene planning. Just taking what we know about pegs and drawings and expanding it to include a little bit of our thoughts and processes from Maya and our 3D work. So there you have it, folks. Taking your walk cycle and having him or her walk through a door. There you have it. Thanks for watching.